What is going on, everybody on YouTube? Steve Raiken here, joined by my good friend Jason Slones, aka or Slone. And I am having an epic fail in the background. I'm here with Jason Slone, and he's a good friend of mine. He is a YouTuber as well. He's an eBay seller, just an overall pretty accomplished entrepreneur, very motivating. And we're teaming up today to talk about how to make money selling used clothing on eBay. So we both been selling clothes for quite a while. At one point I was doing it full time, and as of late I haven't been doing it much, but I just moved to a new place and I'm setting up a pretty epic new studio downstairs for eBay and Amazon. So I'm going to be hitting eBay pretty hard over the next couple months. So you guys will be able to see that update coming soon. But Jason, aka Prof Sales, what's going on, man?
Man, just living the dream every day, right?
Hey,
Glad
man,
to be here.
It is a dream. I just went to the gym and I stopped over at the store, and boy, oh boy, people are, and this used to be me, people are miserable out there working these 9-to-5 jobs. They are not happy to be there. I went into, where was it? I went to grab some Advil because I'm having some knee issues working out. And there was a young guy there, and it looks like he just woke up. And I was like, hey, how's your day going? He's like, I just got into work and I got to stay here for 9 hours. And he's just like so sad and depressed. And I'm thinking to myself, I should pull him aside and tell him about this eBay and Amazon game. Like, it's possible to make money online. It really is now in 2017. And what's your story, Jason, with making money online?
The same as what you just said. I mean, it strikes me. I was just at the bank a little while ago, and I was just kind of walking around. I was just noticing the expressions of the people walking there, and probably 2/3 of them were really unhappy. They just looked like they were having a bad day. And I never forget, that it's such a gift to be able to work for yourself, to go out to find your own way, be your own boss. I mean, it's got its pitfalls and challenges just like anything else. Yeah. But man, it is so much more worth it when you are in control of your own financial destiny instead of somebody else who's writing that check for you. So I love it.
The control, it's huge. Not having a cap, right? Not having that boss hovering over you, not having to wake up at the alarm clock. I mean, I wake up every morning, 6, 7 in the morning, but I wake up, with my own goals in mind and my own destiny to fulfill, right? And it's different. It really is different working for yourself versus working for the man, right? So we're going to talk about selling clothing on eBay. Do you sell on any other platforms, or are you mostly eBay?
I was selling a lot on Amazon. I've started pulling some of my lower price items. I'm kind of restructuring my strategy over there. And I sell some local groups too, like Craigslist and OfferUp, Garage Sale.
Yeah, so we all sell on various platforms and have different income streams, but today it's going to be more specific with eBay. So if you guys are ready to rock and roll in this show, I need you guys to do me a couple favors. Number one, I need you to like the video. We got 73 people watching live, 73 hustlers who are either A, self-employed because it's noon and most people are at work, or B, you're at work, your boss doesn't know that you're on YouTube watching this video. So hit the like button if I'm right with either one of those options. Second thing I need you guys to do is subscribe to Prof Sales on YouTube. That's PROF Sales. He's got a great channel, tons of live shows, lots of awesome content. And also, he's been putting in some work on Instagram at Prof Sales as well. So you can see the spelling of that down in the description. But let's rock and roll. We're going to share with you guys a bunch of items. I've got a whole bunch of clothing items that I've either picked up recently or I've picked it up and kind of threw it in my clothing investment / death pile area until I finally get to listing it. So I'm going to share with you guys some cool items. Mr. Prof Sales, you've got some items as well you're going to be sharing?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Let's rock and roll. Jason, you can go first. Why don't you share with them your first item and talk about what it is, why you bought it, what you hope to sell it for, and all that good stuff. And I'll be watching the comments for questions.
So you guys, I actually don't have many jeans, and I'm probably best known for selling jeans. And I think this is the only pair I'm going to show you. And I have a lot behind me in other places, but this pair was pretty cool. So our Salvation Army near us on Wednesdays, they have half off clothing day, which is awesome because normally they're a little bit higher priced, but you can see here that like this price was $6.99. So it was half off for $3.50, which is not a bad price. But what's cool about this pair of jeans, these are Jeanco. This was a vintage skater brand back in the 90s. They had really wide bottoms, and they've kind of come back and started remaking their items. And it's a girls' pair, actually. It's a juniors. But here's what's cool about it. Check out these bottoms, man. Steve, I think you need a pair of these, buddy.
Holy mackerel. I was looking in the comments, and I looked up and saw that. What in the world is that?
I mean, you can't. Here's the thing, guys. Like, when you find something unique like that, you know, and the back is okay, but like, it's going to sell, because when you shoot that photo, like, that's going to be a photo like that. I mean, it's going to stick out like nobody's business, and somebody's going to buy those. I figure I'll probably get maybe 25 or even $30 for those, just an easy sale. And Genco's a great brand if you can find them. Like I said, especially the old vintage ones, they go for really good money. They have really wide bottoms, like 24 inches around or something crazy like that. Was
that
nuts.
brand,
So.
they don't manufacture that brand anymore, do they?
I think they came back a couple years ago. Yeah, I believe they did. They actually bought one of my items a couple years ago.
Huh.
It went to Genco, the actual headquarters, which was pretty cool. So great brand.
Yeah, Bonafide Hustler's in the comments. So big shout out to Bonafide. Make sure, if you guys haven't already, subscribe to him. He does really cool garage sale ride-alongs and has a lot of other great content. But he says, I think those Genco jeans have been customized.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Do you think they've been customized? Do you think that's how they came?
It's possible, but it doesn't matter. I mean, are they unique and you want that one buyer? Sure. But that's so cool. Like, it's going to appeal to a bunch of different people.
The weirder it is, and the more you say to yourself, who in the right mind would ever wear those? That's money. That's always money. The weirdest stuff. And I'm going to be showing you guys, my last item is a freaky deaky, super weird item that I think you're going to be surprised with. What do you think what do you think those are going to go for, Jason? I'm not sure if you already mentioned it.
I'm probably going to put those around maybe $30.
Really?
In that range. Yeah.
I was thinking maybe more than that, man, because
they could. I need to kind of go on and look and see. I mean, they are a one-off. You could argue maybe even 40, maybe 45. I don't know if they'd go for much more than that. They're a size 9, so the size is not crazy.
Yeah. Cool, man. Thanks for sharing that. Let me dive into my little pile of profits. The first item I'm going to share with you is actually a lot that I'm going to be selling. It's a lot of, let me get around this cord, a lot of 3, 1, 2, and 3. I believe they're all the same size, extra large, extra large, extra large. Yeah. So they're all the same size, which if you're going to lot clothing up, you want to make sure they're the same size. The brand is Jane Barnes. So I'm going to come up and show you. I don't know if you guys can see that tag or not. But this brand can do really well if it's super unique and odd looking. And I mean, take a look at this, guys. How weird is this? Right? It's almost like an Aztec, kind of like a territory ahead design in a sense. I've got to do some research, but you know, I could possibly get $100 for all 3 of those, possibly. Some of those really weird ones could go up to $30-$40 or more. So I'm definitely going to spend some time in the sold listings doing some research. But yeah, Jane Barnes is definitely a really good brand. If you find you know, suits or like even like the sweaters with a unique design, cool color, they can do really, really well. So
nice. All right. Well, I guess it's on me. So next up is, as if you're a clothing seller, you know the summer can sometimes be a little slower, so you need to shift your mindset to items that will sell in the summer. So I found these cool Quicksilver board shorts, swim trunks, and these would have been $2.50. Not a thing wrong with them. They are, oh, I don't remember the size, and it seemed like it was somewhere weird on them. But I think they're probably a large. But these can actually go, if you look at the solds on eBay for Quicksilver board shorts, some of these can go for $40 with free shipping. So, I mean, it's like an easy, even if it was 25, it's still a great deal for $2.50. And they weigh like nothing. They can go first class, so you're not going to have to spend much money to ship them. So great brand to pick up. There's a lot of swim trunks out there right now, and some are better than others. Quicksilver is a good brand for sure.
You ever found, I don't think they're really board shorts, but have you ever found the brand Loudmouth?
Yes, once, and they sold for good money.
I think I've only found it once as well. How do you measure those? Yeah, they are golf shorts. How do you measure those board shorts?
I would probably just measure the waist on them, because I don't think they have a size tag in them. I mean, I have to look a little closer, but I would probably just measure the waist and the length, because people
Yeah.
sometimes want to know how long they are. So
Next up is an item I found a while ago at Savers for $4.99, and I was showing my friend this yesterday. My buddy Tim Green, remember, was over here at my place, and I had just moved recently, so I'm setting up my new setup, and I was taking clothes out of boxes and whatnot. And this says U.S. Marines going down
nice.
the chest area over here, a little side area, satin jacket, cool colors. Some gangster 80-year-old is gonna buy this. Some war veteran is gonna buy this, or someone who was in the military, and they're gonna love it. I can tell you already. This is a unique piece, and anything that has to do with the military, especially if it's like older, and if it's a satin jacket. I mean, have you had success with satin jackets in the past?
I haven't found too many of them, but I have sold some Marine stuff, because I was just thinking, like, man, so easy to keyword that, because people search for Marines. And so your jacket's gonna pop up, even if they're looking for something completely different from Marines. So you're gonna get tremendous views on that, I believe, and of course it'll sell.
What do you think? Because I haven't done any research on this yet. Sometimes I just buy things if it's super unique. Because there's no way you're going to lose on $5. What do you think?
Right.
What are you thinking this could go for with no sold listing research? Just a
Wow.
wild guess.
What size was it? A large?
Extra large, 46. Which back then I think they used to make things a little smaller. If this is like
Yeah.
90s, Softs jackets, SOFS, soft SOFFE jackets. Just a
That's a
random
good
guess.
question. I mean, I'm probably starting around somewhere in that $50 range.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I would think.
True Web Deals is saying $79.95. Bonafide
Wow.
said he sold one in his booth around 34. Anthony's saying 40. So probably somewhere between 30 to 50 to 80, somewhere in there. It's tough to tell sometimes without looking at the sold listings.
Right. All right, so I'm going to switch gears with this one, man. So I've started selling shoes, and my good friend Tino, the Soul Advisor, has been really helping me out with his videos and so on. He was actually on the show the other night.
Nice.
And this particular brand I found at the boutique store outside of the bin store. There's a bin store near me, but there's also a boutique store attached to it. And a lot of their prices are really crazy. And I found these shoes, and the funny thing is, the guy in line behind me said, "Oh, you got my shoes." I was waiting for him to go lower. He literally, and the funny thing is, they did. They
got my shoes.
You can see the price was down. It was $49.99, $24.99, then $14.99. And this brand is Mark Nason, Rock Lines.
I've never heard of that before.
I hadn't either, but they are super cool looking, as you can see. They've got like that wrinkled look to them, just loafers. The boots go for crazy, like 150, $175. But I think these even, Tino was saying, probably around $80, somewhere in that range. They're a size, they're made in Italy.
That's always a good sign with shoes.
Gosh, I can't remember the size on them. I can't see it here. My light's not that great right here.
Yeah.
But I think they're like a 10. Oh, there it is. It's on the bottom. So they're 9. They're size 9, so not a crazy size. But Mark Nason, like even the lower end of these shoes are going to be like $40. And
really?
Higher, yeah, they're pretty good. And the boots and so on go up really high. It's just a niche brand. I love niche brands like that. And they're just money.
Because there's not a ton of them out there. I've never seen the brand before, right?
I hadn't either.
And that's the cool thing about that. There might only be a few of them. I mean, did you look into sold listings, or are there a ton of them for sale, or the active listings?
Yeah, there was not a tremendous amount, but it was enough that when you look at Mark Nason men's shoes, I'm looking on eBay right now, there's 739 sold listings.
Okay.
So, that's a decent size market, buy it nows that are used. Yeah, so that's decent size.
Yeah, if you guys are going to look for clothing, always look at the shoe rack. Always look at the shoe rack. And I'm going to do more videos on that. There's already a ton of videos on YouTube about it, but there's so many profitable shoe brands. Next up is a brand that doesn't do as well as it used to do. It does still do well if you find something that's a little different. And what I mean by different is, here's the brand, the Territory Ahead. If you find like a polo shirt or like a bland button front shirt, it's not, the brand doesn't do as well anymore. There's more people know about it. But this is like a thick quilted, kind of like it's a jacket, but it looks like a shirt. It's like a shirt jacket, I guess you would call it. 100% cotton, extra large, good size. It was $4.99. Looks like there's a little, no, that'll come off. It's a little marked down there, but I'll be able to wipe that off with some water. This will probably go for somewhere between 30 or 40 bucks. I definitely need to spend some more time researching it. It would have been nice if it had the leather elbow patches. Some of these will. This didn't. But size extra large, it's unique. It's different. You know, the color doesn't really stand out. But finding a Territory Ahead zip up, I'm going to just call it a shirt jacket with the two little pockets on the front, isn't super rare, but it's harder to come across than just like a typical polo shirt or a button front shirt. So one thing I want to really drill into your heads, guys, is all because a brand does well, it doesn't mean that everything within that brand does well, right? You can find Ralph Lauren items that sell for $100, $200, $1,000 plus. Yes, used items that are vintage and hard to come across. But then there's other items in the Ralph Lauren brand that sell for $8.
Right.
So yeah, just want to share that item with you. What do you got next, Jason?
Well, I was going to ask you one thing, Steve. Do you find that, because I know you've traveled around the country with some of your trips and so on, do you find that there's definitely areas that have certain brands more than others? Like Ralph Lauren's pretty universal, but the brand like you just said, I'm not sure I've seen that a lot here locally in North Carolina. Do you find that when you're going around these other areas?
Yeah, I mean, when I was going about like on my thrifting trip all over, I wasn't really focused on clothing that much, to be honest, because I was focusing mostly on Amazon FBA.
Right.
Because with clothing, you can't really sell it on the road. I was packing everything in my car and just shipping it off to FBA. So to be 100% honest, I wasn't really looking for clothing that much. But I've just heard from YouTube subscribers and in the comments that like they never, like people on the West Coast, some people say like I don't find a lot of these, you know, winter brands or like thicker things like the Woolriches or the Pendletons or the Territory Ahead. So, you know, I'd assume that based on where you live, you're going to find, you know, just different items, right? Like when I was in Austin, Texas, there's a lot of like just really cool brands that have to do with like being active and sporting and like cycling and like just like weird things that we don't really find over here because Austin's much more active and like health conscious than Connecticut. So on top of that, yeah, I tell you right now though, I don't know if I should say this live, but when I was out in North and South Carolina, I had like a horrible time like finding stuff for Amazon FBA, like books, like they shipped it all to like Shop Goodwill. I didn't find many electronics. You know, I was new to the area. I was just passing by. So, you know, don't take my word for everything, right? Because I didn't know all the hot spots and honey holes. But clothing was really, really good out there. I remember going into this one thrift store and finding two amazing Robert Grahams. So Bonafide Hustler saying Austin sucks so bad, no one move here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny you mentioned the Austin or the Robert Grahams because I found 6 one day at one store. Like, boom,
you
boom,
son
boom,
of a gun!
And I went, "This can't be happening."
Where do you live? North Carolina?
Yeah, Charlotte. Yeah.
Everybody moved to Charlotte.
Nope, no one moved here. There's nothing good here.
Who else was I talking to? I was just interviewing. I think Luke Henson. Doesn't he live out in Charlotte?
Luke lives 10 minutes from me.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, he really does.
Oh my gosh, that is 2 hardcore clothing hustlers.
I drive by his street on the way to the post office. It's so funny.
You guys ever see each other in the thrift store?
Yeah, we've hung out. We've thrifted together. We've hung out at IHOP. You know, I mean, we've done that. So anyway, but Luke's a great guy. We've gone to the bins together to some other places.
Yeah, he is great.
This next brand is a brand of shoes. It's just a loafer. And the brand is called Sandro Mascaloni. Nice little, you can see the bottoms are pretty good shape. Got a little bit, you know, to clean off there, but I'm not afraid of that. Nice little loafers. They're actually heavyweight. These are a size, they're made in Brazil, a 14 deep.
Interesting.
So a larger size. Probably around $40 to $50 on these. You know, maybe even 35. It just kind of depends on. But I'd never heard of this brand either. But when I was out thrifting, and these were also, I think, purchased for like $3.50 at the, or maybe $3 at the bins. And that's the
Cool.
thing. Our bins is by weight, so $1.39 a pound. Shoes are usually like 2 pounds,
Yeah.
so maybe a little more. So not a bad brand to pick up.
So what do you do, Jason, when you're at the bins or you're at a thrift store and you come across, a brand of clothing or a pair of shoes that you're not familiar with? What's your next step that you take to be able to analyze if you should buy it or not?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always going to look at the solds and completeds on eBay. But honestly, guys, I think the real knowledge in this game comes in when you can look at something and make a good guesstimate if it's worth looking up, because you can't look up everything.
That's true.
So you can kind of look at things like when I saw these Mark Nasons, I was like, man, I've never heard of that brand, but they're pretty cool looking. So, I'm going to take a shot. And they said made in Italy. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to find out now. So you've got to kind of develop that eye too, and then check out the solds and start making a determination. Is there a market? How big is it? How often are they selling, and for how much? So,
Do you find a lot of like LL Bean and Ex Officio in your area?
LL Bean, yes. Ex Officio, I'm not as familiar with, so I don't think so.
Yeah, it's a similar kind of like fishing / outdoor hiking type of brand. Does pretty well. I literally just found a brand new tags one like 2 days ago. It's pretty cool. I'm just looking through the comments real quick, seeing if there's any questions I could answer. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask in the comments, and I'm doing my best to be able to interact with you guys live and also try to fetch some questions for you. Some people in the comments saying, talking about Robert Graham. Corey says, I found 4 Robert Grahams the other day at my local Goodwill for $3.99 a piece. Couldn't believe it.
Nice.
Corey, I'm going to tell you right now, you overpaid. I'm just kidding. You should have left them
for someone else.
Dutch Weeks says, I saw 6 or 7 grams just the other day at Goodwill. They were all marked 15 to 20 bucks, but they screwed up on one. Brown tags were $1. Gotta love that. I tell you, if you find the right type of Robert Graham, I'm talking, super crazy color design cuffs, the inside of the shirt, maybe it has embroideries, flowers, like I'll pay up to like 30 or 40 bucks for one of those because I've sold them for over 100.
And I'll tell you, that's a great point, Steve. And don't forget, guys, if you have a Nordstrom rack near you, you can find Robert Graham marked down sometimes at Nordstrom Rack, and it's been worth it. I've bought some there for like 30 bucks and flipped for like 110. So I mean that's worth it because it's new. You're not going to have any issue with it. It's not counterfeit. All those good things already. Yeah. I don't know if Robert Graham's counterfeit that much anyway, but either way, that's great. Nordstrom Rack's always a great resource.
Yeah, I was talking to my buddy about Robert Graham yesterday, and I guess he had talked to somebody who went into a Robert Graham store, and I think they were trying to like authenticate an item, and the people there were like, Robert Graham is like very, like it's counterfeited very little. Right. So take that for what it's worth. I wasn't there. Here's some questions that are coming. And actually, I want to shout out Mischievous Mal. Good to see you, girl. We got In the Sun by the Beach saying shoes made in Italy and Spain are of such high quality that I think people search specifically for them. So, I think there's a good chance. Sylvia Fox says, Steve, please ask Jason if he charges shipping on all his clothes or does he do free shipping?
I actually answer in that chat, but I'll answer here too for people watching later. I do a mix. It just kind of depends. If it'll go first class, a lot of times I'm going to do it free because, it's not going to cost me more than about $4.15. But if it's a lower price item, that's still kind of a bit much. Usually if I ship first class though, it'll be in charge shipping. It'll be $5. Mm-hmm. And then the padded flat rate, if it's a heavier item, jeans obviously all fit in that. And I do charge for most of those. I do a mixture though, honestly. It kind of just depends on the weight and the item. And I'm just trying some different things with the shipping costs and so on.
I see Thriftology in the comments. Thriftology, were you the one who RESELL's featured like a super sick rap on his channel? If that was you, because Reezy featured a rap that was pertaining to the Gary Vaynerchuk 20K flip challenge, and he wanted everybody to like write and like produce a rap song. And I think that was Thriftology. If that was you, that song was like so dope. It was crazy, man. So I want to shout you out if that was you. Dwight Graff is saying, how do you spot fakes like with jerseys? So let's talk about counterfeits a little bit. Why don't you make maybe one point pertaining to counterfeits in terms of how you handle it or how you inspect it or how you just deal with that issue, Jason?
Well, I obviously, in selling a lot of jeans, I deal with a couple brands that I know are notorious for it, like True Religion and Diesel. And, you know, again, it kind of goes back to having that eye. You've got to pick something up, and if it seems a little suspicious, it probably is.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of great resources out there that you can learn about specific brands that are fake. The reality is not as many brands are faked as you think. I see that in reseller community all the time. It's like, is this a fake? Is this a fake? And people are posting an item that retailed for like $22. I'm like, probably not going to be faked. But honestly, my rule of thumb is this, Steve. I don't know how you feel about it. If I have any question after looking it over, I don't buy it. I just move on from it. It's not the end of the world if it's one item. It would have to be super high end. If it's super high end, I'm going to do everything I can to authenticate it. But man, you got to do your research. Try to do your research before you buy it, because taking it back is a big pain in the butt. Yeah. And some thrift stores won't take it back anyway. If you buy it at a yard sale, they're not going to take it back, obviously. And but I see yard sales. That's where I see it. People come out with like the Coach purses and the Louis Vuitton purses, and I'm like, I don't know enough about those to to pay for those, and they'll have like 20 of them. I'm going, that's a little suspicious, and they're living in like a shack, and you're going, how did you afford those? But so I just don't pick it up.
I'll give you $1,000 if you make a YouTube video, go into a garage sale, buy like 20 things, and then have someone record you as you try to return them the next day. Like, how the prank YouTube channels are blowing up? Well, there was like a phase where like there was like people who got like 10 million subscribers just off those prank videos. How funny would that be? Just like the face on the people. You knock on the door and you're like, can I return this? It didn't fit.
I'm going to report you. I'm going to give you bad feedback.
Open up a claim. I'm gonna call the garage sale commissioner's office.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm just looking through the comments real quick to see what else is going on. Let's keep going. I'm going to share with you some more brands and Jason as well, and I'll get back into the comments. Here is, speaking of the devil, you were just talking about authenticating Diesel jeans. Here's a Diesel Industry pair of jeans, and here's the thing, guys. When you're messing with Diesel, always look inside the waist area to see what like model, I don't know what the right word to use is, but what style it is. This one is, like what is it? How do you pronounce it? Zatini? I don't know.
Zatini, yeah.
Zatini. But this is, keep going.
Well, I was going to say, you know what the authentication is on Diesel? I don't know if you know this one or not, Steve. So the little tag over there to the side has the little Indian head on it, not that tag, the other tag. And here's where it gets tricky. So there's micro writing in that fiber below the head that says Diesel, and it's in really tiny letters. But it's very hard to fake that. It's almost impossible to see with the naked eye. You almost.
I know this isn't fake. Like, the quality is so nice.
Yeah, it looks legit from everything I can see too. So, but
it smells real too.
But that little micro printing in that thread is really difficult because it says Diesel, but it's hard to see. I actually have a little magnifying glass at my desk, and I bought it just for Diesels. I'm like, just in case, I'm going to look for that thing.
I've sold this brand and style several times. What are you thinking that this thing's worth right here? What would you list it at without even looking?
I'm assuming it's pre-owned, right?
Yes.
I'm going high on that one. I'm probably pricing it, I don't know. You might even start at $80.
I've gotten 60, 70, $80 for those before. I don't know if it was that specific Diesel Industries one. There's a little, there's a few issues going on at the bottom. I forgot to mention it to you guys. Okay. There's like a little issue going on down here.
Maybe not a big deal with a men's pair.
Yeah. But you have to disclose that, right?
Yep. Oh, I take a photo of it. Yep.
It was a little too long. Yeah, a little too long. So it was just, kind of pulling on the floor. But yeah, if you get the right pair of Diesel jeans, like, those things can go for really, really good money.
Yep.
Absolutely. What do you got, man? What's up next?
I've got one of my favorites. So these are Allen Edmond Walden loafers.
Oh.
And I had not, actually they're penny loafers, actually, I guess technically. They've got the little spot for the quote unquote penny. Yeah, I had not seen this one. And the Walden ones, I was talking to Tino just the other day. They're really nice on the bottom too. I'm trying to remember exactly what they went for. But Allen Edmonds, sorry, I'm not better prepared here on this one.
That's okay.
But the Walden ones, I've seen, you'll see these for like as much as $75. Some are 50. So they're probably going to go somewhere in that 50 to, $60 to $70 range. And they're really great shape. They got a little bit of dust on them, but man, the wear on the bottom, I mean, that's like not that much for a men's shoe. They're a size 12B, so kind of a little bit larger size. But these also I picked up for, I think they were like $3.
Oh
so,
man,
yeah,
you overpaid on that.
Put them back, right?
What do those things retail for? Like on average,
Oh,
a couple $100 probably.
yeah, I don't even know. They're probably 150,
Yeah.
175, at least. I mean, Allen Edmonds, like there was actually the Salvation Army near me the other day had this cool pair of Allen Edmonds that had an elevated heel and sole for someone who had like a leg, one that was longer or shorter, or maybe in a prosthetic. And they didn't have a price on them. So I'm like, hey, how much are these? Well, they'd gotten put out on the floor. They had them for $199, $199, and they were half off. And I'm like, you are smoking something, Salvation Army. Do you want them? And I'm like, no.
You know what's funny about Salvation Army? Like sometimes, like I really think that they are doing something in the back room because, like my Salvation Army, it is like the ghettoest Salvation Army ever. It's like brand new too, but like that place just went to beep real quick. And like I went in there the other day and they had a tennis racket. Well, not the other day, I'm sorry. It was probably like 8 months ago. And they had a tennis racket that was like all beaten up and like destroyed. It was like a Wilson. It was like probably like $30 retail. They wanted like $60 for it. And like golf clubs for like 150. And I'm like, this is the Salvation Army. Like, what is going on?
They don't do as well
happens.
around here as Goodwill, and that's the reason why. Like they're priced too high.
I honestly, I'm gonna make a prediction right now that 90% of the Salvation Armies in Connecticut are gonna be gone within 3 to 5 years. I don't think they're gonna last. They can't compete with Goodwill and Savers.
Yeah. I see their stuff at Goodwill's all the time. Still has a Salvation Army tag on it.
I don't know how they're making money, to be honest. Like I love Salvation Army because I think Salvation Army, out of all of them, they actually donate the most.
Yeah.
I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think they do.
Right.
No Savers. Right. They're taking like most of the cut and like it's going to like, I know they donate to the Big Brother Foundation and whatnot, but I know Savers is taking a lot. I know Goodwill takes a pretty good cut. Yeah. But I think Salvation Army does the most. So it's unfortunate.
Yeah, I agree.
They don't turn over a lot of new inventory, I've noticed. Let's see, what was I think there was a comment I wanted to read. Oh yeah, I want to shout out Paul Cost for hooking me up with a little $2 super, what is it called? Those little super messages that come through.
Super chat.
So Paul, thank you for that little $2 tip. He says, thanks for the vids. Thank you for the tip. Let me do a little dance for you. I appreciate that, Paul.
What would you do for $10, Steve?
Oh man, for $10, I will give you. And okay, if I was to give you guys this for $10, I want everyone in the comments to say, would you pick it or would you pass on it? Here we have a vintage men's. Let me stand up for this one. Woolrich jacket. Really different, really unique. It's got these little cool little button-up area right here. Nice. Let me flip it around. I'm not going to give it to you for 10, but if I did, would you take this for $10? Everybody in the comments. This is 100% wool. Take a look at the tag. It's got the old white tag. This is vintage for sure. When's this from? I'm going to guess the 80s, but I could be way off.
Wow.
I don't know. Maybe earlier, maybe later. I don't know, but it's just different. Look at the little black stripe on the bottom. Look at the little hemmed off. It's just weird. Just a really weird item. For $10, would you guys buy it? Yes or no? Jason, do you see the comments?
Yeah.
What I keep saying.
Chicago Hustler says nope. Darcy Thrift says yes. Sunny yes. Pam totally. Indelible pencil pick. I guess that's instead of pass. So yeah, so it looks like the consensus so far is yes.
I paid $5.49 for it. I honestly didn't even look up the sold listings because something like that, I know it's minimum $30, like minimum. There's no way you're getting less.
Right.
But that could go up to maybe 60, 70, $80 possibly. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. But Woolrich is one of those brands where if you find something that's weird and unique and old,
yeah,
You just don't know. So I'm not positive on what it would sell for, but I know it's one of those things where it's the risk versus reward. I'm willing to risk 549 all day long for the possible reward of it being 50 plus.
Well, it's cool that you were talking about Woolrich because probably a year ago I saw you mention that brand and I did not know it. And so I passed on it probably several times here locally. And now I always at least give it a once over, and I'm like, this might sell. So thank you for that. That was all you.
Yeah, you got to find the right items though, because there's a lot of crap Woolrich items that are just like bland, like button fronts, or just like a bland, just like random item.
Right.
So,
right. Speaking of button fronts, have you guys heard of this brand? I had never heard of this one before. It's called Super Dry Co.
Mm-mm.
And I know you can't feel this shirt, but I'm going to tell you, it is a thick quality, we like a scratch and sniff channel. This is like a super thick quality shirt. This thing probably weighs like, I don't know, 1.5 pounds at least. It's actually made in India, British design, spirit of Japan. I don't really know what that all means, but Super Dry company. And I guess they've been making clothes since 1954. Just like a big, thick flannel.
Cool.
Looks like the solds on these are somewhere around $30 maybe. With
really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I had never heard of it. I just saw it, and like the quality of it caught my attention. And then I saw Japan on the tag, and I'm like, So let me check this out. Not made in Japan, but anyway, nice little brand. Nice little niche. I was looking up the solds, and that's, there's definitely some around that range, $29.99. Some are a little bit lower at like $18.99, but this one's actually a thick quality flannel, so I'll probably price it up higher, closer to that $30 range. So nice little brand.
You made a really good point that I want to bring out again. It just felt different. It felt unique. It felt like it was worth something. And a lot of times I'll be flipping through the rack and I'll feel something. It's just different, right?
Yep.
The more you do this whole clothing game and you're flipping through racks and you're looking at different brands and you're touching different items, you feel the materials, things will stand out. The sizes will stand out. The materials will stand out. The brand will stand out. There's so many different factors, right? So that was a really good point right there.
Yep, agreed.
Here I have a brand new with tags, Wrangler. It's not denim, but it looks like no, it is denim. I don't know. It's what would you call this thing? Is it denim? I think it's denim.
It's kind of hard to tell.
Feels like jeans. This is a pearl snap shirt, Wrangler, brand new with tags right here. Wrangler is another one of those brands where a lot of it doesn't do well, but if you get something that's unique, especially I'm going to just call it denim. It has that jean denim look to it, but it's a little softer. So I don't know. It's made out of cotton. It's 100% cotton. Pearl snap. If you guys don't know what a pearl snap is, it's kind of hard to see. I'm sorry with the light, but it's just a little pearl on the button. And these are very popular, out where Bonafide Hustler lives out in Texas. A lot of the cowboys like to wear these things. So Wrangler, new with tags, I'll probably shoot for $30-$40 on this.
Yeah.
Maybe less. I don't know. I've got to do some research, but
is it light enough to go first class?
It's going to be close. I think it could be somewhere around 15 to 16 ounces, but it might be more. So, just another example of an item, a brand that could do really well, but could also do very poor.
Hey, one little tip on there I wanted to share because it just sparked my memory. I actually figured out everything I ship in first class, I usually ship in a certain vinyl bag, shipping bag. And I put how much that and the label actually weighs, and I put that little sticker on my scale. It's like 1.2 ounces. So that way when I weigh something, I know if it's at 14.8 or lower, I'm going to be at that 1 pound first class threshold. So quick little tip. That way you're not guessing on because it's a pain to have to put, your label and your invoice and your shipping envelope all on top of it. It's better just have that all right there. You can just put the item on there and you're done. So
cool.
I'd share that.
Yeah, appreciate that for sure. Do you have anything else to show? Or are you out?
Oh man, I got. Cool. What are you talking about?
He's got clothes for days, man. I thought you sold it all.
No, wish. We're getting there. All right, so this brand of sweater is famous or maybe infamous now because of whose name is on it. And even though this doesn't look exactly like the ones you probably remember from the 80s, this is a Norm Thompson.
Oh.
And if you've ever heard of the Cosby sweater, um, they're usually bright colors, like the ones that Bill Cosby wore on the Cosby Show back in the day when it was the most popular show. But the Norm Thompson sweaters, this is made in Italy. These still sell. I've sold a couple of them. This one's not quite as special as the one I sold before. It's just, just kind of a bland color. But again, you can usually get like $25 for these, sometimes 30. And there's still a market out there, a nice little niche brand. But the Cosby ones are really bright. They're really bright, like funky looking colors. I don't know if Norm Thompson likes his sweaters being called the Cosby sweater anymore, but they do sell, and there are people who like them. So good brand.
Nobody wants to be associated with that name anymore.
Yeah, probably not so much.
Did you mention the brand Tundra at all?
No.
Because Coogee, I know you mentioned you had talked about the Coogee and the Cosby sweater. Tundra is another really good brand that looks similar to the Norm Thompson. Have you ever messed with that brand before?
I don't think I've seen that one, but
yeah,
I'll
look
be
it up,
sure to
man.
look for it.
Yeah, Tundra, Tundra. Another one of those brands where it doesn't really do well unless it's crazy looking.
Right.
So thanks for sharing that item. Let me
We got 200 people watching, Steve. How about that, man?
I was saying before, I don't know if we're going to have many people watching. You're like, hey, man, last time we did this, we had a lot of people. So want to give a big thank you.
Absolutely.
Very grateful to have you guys here. If you guys are enjoying this video, do me a big favor and hit the like button. How many likes do we got right now? Let's see.
Oh, I need to refresh.
We've got 91. Should I give away one of my clothing books if we hit a certain milestone for a lucky winner?
I think that's an awesome idea.
Not a bad idea. What do you think I should give away? I have a book called 101 Killer Clothing Brands 102, which is 102 more clothing brands, or the Blazing Profits training program. That's the most expensive one, but it's very niche towards blazer, sport coats, and suits. What do you think? You pick what we're giving away.
I think I'd give away the 102 because 2 is better than 1.
Okay, so you're going to get 100. It's pretty much a guide that has 102 brands that I suggest that you buy. So it has how much I'd recommend paying, how fast it typically sells, a jackpot item. There's a whole bunch of different things, a picture of the tag. So we're going to give away 102 killer clothing brands. How many likes do we need to hit to give that away? Because we're at 113 likes.
Oh, really? Okay. I'm a little behind on the likes.
What do you think? 150?
Yeah, 150 sounds good. We have 15 minutes. We can do that.
Okay, cool. So if we hit 150 likes, I'm going to have Jason pick a random winner out. Just scroll your mouse and stop it and pick a random winner.
All right, we'll do.
All right, let's keep going through because we only have 15 minutes.
You're up.
Here we have a very beautiful Italian suit. Do you sell suits often?
I've started dabbling.
Dabble a little bit?
Yeah.
Any guesses in the comments section what brand suit this is? I'm going to tell you right now, it's Italian and it's high end. So
ooh, I got a guess, but I'm not going to say.
What are people in the comments saying? Come on, guys. What?
Well, we're a few seconds behind.
Brand is this? It's an exclusive collection. Oh, this is so beautiful. Super 150s. This material, I could just lick it. It's so nice. I won't, though. I won't destroy the value.
They're saying Brioni, which is my guess. Oscar de la Renta, Armani, Canali.
Nope. Yes.
Canali. That was true.
This is
Mike Sherman. Yeah.
Canali suit right here. The color, the material. Oh, this is a beauty. Nice. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I honestly think that I could get 150 to 200 bucks for this right here, this suit. It is that nice. Okay, never mind. Value just went down by like 80 bucks. There's a hole on the side. And you might be thinking, Steve, there's only a little tiny hole. How's the value going to go down that much? When it comes to suits, people want those things like perfect. So maybe $100 or so. It's not a huge issue. It's like a little moth hole. Darn it.
So hard to see that on a suit too, because there's like a lot of fabric, and it's kind of, there's pockets and there's under the arms and there's the inside.
I paid like $10 for it, man. I don't, that's one of the things I'm working on. Like you were saying, Jason, there's so many things. There's the sleeves, the lining, the inside, the outside. Like sometimes I get too excited and I just buy it without inspecting it like enough.
Yeah, I've run into the same issue. So that's not that uncommon. And suits are tricky. Because like you said, people are very, very picky about them. And oh man.
Chicago Crowd Hustler goes fail. Sorry, Steve. Fail live on YouTube.
I've actually got another pair of shoes here, and I think I got one other shirt too. Oh wait, maybe I have two. Nope, just one. This is actually a pair of Stacy Adams Oxfords. Now, Stacy Adams is an interesting brand because there's a lot of low-end Stacy Adams, so you have to be kind of careful what you buy here. But I bought these. They actually got to be cleaned up a little bit, but we already confirmed that what's on here will actually come off. Shoes, you will do some work, which I'm not a huge fan of with items. Like I like to buy jeans ready to go or shirts ready to go. But when it's a higher profit margin and, and you can make more per item like shoes, I mean, shoes are going to, like Tino, my friend, has an average selling price of like $35, $38. If you're paying $5 for them, that's a pretty good margin. So these are actually Stacy Adams Oxfords. They are a size 11.5 medium. And they're kind of cool looking because they got this weird looking polka dot all over them. And again, it's just a weird thing. I mean, I don't know if they'll go more than for maybe about $30, but I think I'm in them for like $3. And the insides are actually pretty pristine, which is always cool. Because I think if you're a shoe buyer, you probably don't want to buy shoes and see like all this gnarly, gross stuff inside them and think, man, that's from somebody's foot.
Gnarly, gross stuff inside them. Do not put that in the description.
So, but again, you got to check out your soles and so on. Some are going to do better than others. So I wouldn't say Stacy Adams is always a buy, but certain ones you can take a little bit of a risk on.
Yeah, I rarely buy that brand, but the other day I purchased a Stacy Adams suit. It was complete new with tags. It was $15, right?
Yeah.
There's no way that thing's going to sell less than $40-50, maybe more. I don't know. So I think that was a great buy. Here's another guessing game I want to play with you guys. I don't think anybody will be able to guess what brand this is because everyone's going to think they know what it is, but no one's going to actually know what it is.
Oh, man.
What brand is this? Yeah, I'm hiding the tag. I ain't going to let you guys see it. I know you guys are sneaky. You'll be trying to look. Any guesses, Prof Sales?
Vineyard Vines.
How the heck did you guess that?
Oh, I got it right.
Dude, are you serious? How did you guess that? There's like never any of these. I thought everybody, watch, there's going to be a million Tommy Hilfiger guesses in the comment section.
Yeah, Ralph Lauren, Brooks Brothers, guess.
Yeah, look at all the Tommies coming in. That's exactly what I would have thought.
Yeah.
How did you guess that? What do you actually sell clothes, man? I thought your whole YouTube channel was just a fraud. It was just a big front.
I think I may have seen a listing of that kind of pattern before. I knew I'd seen that pattern somewhere. And I couldn't remember who it was. And I wanted to say Tommy, actually, at first. Yeah. And then I was like, no, I don't think it's Tommy. So Vineyard Vines Murray, nice.
Half off day.
Awesome.
So I paid like $4.50 for that.
$4.50 for it? Oh, yeah, all day long. Vineyard Vines, still a hot brand.
But maybe I paid full. I don't remember. I got this a little while ago. Even at $9, I still think it's a good buy.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. Vineyard Vines, I mean, I can't
believe you guessed that. Like, seriously.
It was between that and Tommy. I was torn.
I'm like hyping this whole thing up. Like, no one's ever going to get it. Like,
no one's going to get it. I think a couple other people said
all my dreams in a matter of seconds.
So that'll be the highlight of the show for me. That's the brand. All right. Well, let's see if you can guess it. Well, I can't show you this because you'll be able to guess it because the brand name's written on it.
Hide it, man.
There's no way to hide this
like
one.
Huge embroidery in front.
All right. Well, maybe I can do this. All right. All right. I'm going to try to lift. It's a shirt. So I'm going to try to lift this up and hide the brand.
All right.
All right. So there you go.
Hold on. I have to click. Oh, that's an Ed Hardy all day long.
Okay. That's Ed Hardy's your guess. Anybody else in the comment feed? Take your guesses on what brand this is. What brand is shirt? It's a button-up shirt. Steve says Ed Hardy.
Now I'm thinking I'm wrong because you're.
We got some others saying Ed Hardy. We hit 150 likes. Hardy. Some other people might have it. They might have it. It is not.
I think I'm wrong. I think I'm wrong now. Crap.
Echo Unlimited. Yeah. Cool little shirt, right?
Yeah.
This brand has some. All right. So Echo Unlimited, and I'll buy their jeans too, by the way. So not every item in Echo Unlimited is a home run. But man, when you find like just kind of weird looking stuff like this, that's just like really crazy designs and so on, like somebody's gonna want that. You've got an eagle riding a rhinoceros who's stepping on a snake.
That's when you know you made it if you're wearing that shirt.
And it says, I don't know what it says here. I can't read it because the Eagles, and there's a crown on top of all of it. So there's like so many. There's a skull and bones with a couple baseball bats with a nail through one of them right here. I mean, there's like, I don't know what's going on in this shirt, but it'll sell like, probably $25, something like that. So anyway, I thought it'd be fun to pick up.
That's cool. I want to give a big shout out to my buddy Jesse, who I should have shouted him out the other day. I'm telling you right now, if you ever get a one of those little donations and you don't shout somebody out, that is like super disrespect. I accidentally forgot to shout him out, and I see him in the comments right now. So I want to shout out Jesse. Subscribe to his channel, Thrift School. He is in the comments right now. So I definitely want to let you know, Jesse, I appreciate you, and I'm very thankful for that donation. I believe we have Oscar in the comment section right now. What's going on, man? Glad to see you. I actually had a subscriber. I was in Goodwill the other day, and I was looking at an item, and he kind of like looked at me and he gave me that look. Have you ever been noticed at a thrift store?
It's happened twice now. So yes. And it's
so they've actually come up to you and.
Well, one came up to Karin, and then I had a lady come up to me at the bins last week. So we each got noticed, I guess. She got noticed first, of course.
Okay, his name was actually Isaac. I apologize about that. It was Isaac. So I see you in the comments. He gave me that look, and he's like, "Hey, do you do YouTube?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "What up, man?" And he's like, "I saw your video the other day," and he's like, I knew you were in front of this Goodwill." And I'm like, "Wow, like it's just such a small world out there, you know." But
yeah.
Big shout out to Isaac, not Oscar. I apologize about that, man. Gary Perkins is saying, "Great live video so far. What's going on?" I believe Gary has a YouTube channel that he had just released. Two Dudes, something. I forgot what it was called, but check out Gary Perkins for sure. All right. Is it my turn or your turn? I forgot.
I think it's your turn. I just did the echo.
Okay. I have one more item that I want to share with you guys, and this is a fine example of a very, very high-end item, profitable item that you can find within just a normal brand like Ralph Lauren. Any guesses on what's special about this? Just based on looking at it. Let's see if there's any guesses in the comments. Anything in particular that can make this thing more valuable than just a normal, jacket? Any guesses, Jason?
I would say, is it pinstriped? It looks like it's pinstriped, but
yeah, it's got some stripes, but that's not what I'm.
That's not what it is.
What I'm going for.
Anything
inside that you notice?
Is it Ralph Lauren? I guess I can. Yeah.
See anything?
Yep. Yeah.
Anything you see in particular?
I'm such a noob on suits and blazers.
No big deal.
I'm missing it.
It's something I didn't know of for a long time, looking in the comments to see what people have to say. So this is actually called a purple label.
Oh, was it purple label?
It was a purple label. I know the coloring's a little off. If you ever see the Ralph Lauren in cursive with that purple label, these are very, very sought after and expensive. This was actually part of a suit. I don't have the bottoms, so it's just the top jacket. So it's not going to be worth as much. If I did have the bottoms to this, I mean, this suit in the store, purple label, is probably well over $1,000 easily. Yep. MSRP. Like well over, maybe over 2,000. I'm serious.
Right.
Used condition. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll get $50, $100, maybe more, maybe less. It's not super desirable without the bottoms.
Yeah.
But be on the lookout for purple label. Purple label polo shirts. You'll take a normal polo shirt that's just regular blue tag and get maybe $15, $20. Purple label, you're already up to 40 to 60 to 70.
Yeah.
In good condition. Take a dress shirt that goes for 20. Purple label, you're already up to 40, 50, 60, 70. It'll literally double or triple the value of your item having that purple label. So
it's funny you say that because I found a few months ago at Marshall's a purple label V-neck sweater. And there was nothing special about this sweater. It was just a basic V-neck, purple label. And I ended up not picking it up, but the original manufacturer's suggested retail price was $9.95. I'm like, this sweater,
sick.
I don't know if it really sold for $1,000, maybe at like a high-end Ralph Lauren store in Chicago or something, maybe, but they still wanted like $80 for it at Marshall's. And I was like, I really couldn't quite justify, the prices I was seeing because it was selling for like $110, $120. Yeah. But I'm going, man, there's nothing about the sweater, but just the fact you have that purple label. just blew it up. You know, the value of it. It was just ridiculous.
Yeah, you're right. You want to share one more item, Jason?
Uh,
Anything special?
oh, well, yeah, I could share this one. Hold on. Let me make sure I can share this one. No, I can't share that one. There's nothing special about that item. I thought it was something different. I was like, I thought it was pulling up something different. Oh, yeah, here's one. So we haven't talked about this brand, and you know this brand, Steve. I'm pretty sure I've heard you talk about this brand. This is a Columbia button-down shirt, which normally I wouldn't pick up, except for the fact it was new.
Oh yeah.
So men's 3X, $50.
Oh yeah.
$50 price normally. So again, this probably won't quite fit in a first class, probably a little over a pound, maybe.
Yeah.
Close. But what do you think I'll get for this, Steve? $50 brand new, 3X, check, nothing super special.
I mean, probably between $20 and $30, somewhere in there. Probably on the lower end. It just depends. What's the material?
I think it's 100% cotton.
Yeah.
Let me look. Yeah.
I mean, the 3X though, if it wasn't a 3X, if it was like an extra large or below, I'd say probably low 20, 25, but you know, maybe 30, 35. Some of those big and tall extra larges can go for a premium, right? A 15, 20, 30% premium. So probably somewhere between 20 to 35, I'm assuming.
That's what I thought too. And again, Columbia is a good brand. There's a lot of people out there like that brand. You know, I mean, it's not high end or anything, but there's a lot of people search for it because they just like the brand. And anytime you have, I think, an item that has a lot of brand loyalty, you can always sell it. So now it just becomes a question of, is it profitable, you know, given what you got to pay for it and what you're going to get for it. But just that brand recognition, a lot of people see that shirt. So
cool. Well, thanks for sharing your items, man. We got 216 people watching live, and I made a little promise earlier, and I said, all right, guys, I'm going to give away one of my guides. It's called 102 Killer Clothing Brands, and it literally has 102 brands to be on the lookout for. And it's not just a picture of a tag and the brand. It's actually pretty in-depth for each item. So I'm going to give that away since you guys smashed that goal of hitting 150 likes. And what I need you guys to do right now is type into the comments section Prof Sales, PROF Sales. That's Prof Sales. That's Jason's YouTube channel. I need you to subscribe to his channel, and I need you to write Prof Sales. And I'm going to give you guys 60 seconds. You can type it in as many times as you want. And what I'm going to have Jason do is go through with his mouse and scroll through and just not even look, just scroll and just stop and choose the person who the pointer's closest to that has written down Prof Sales. I'm going to double check after though. If you're the winner, I'm going to check on Prof Sales. Make sure you're subscribed. So let's give
there's
them
a ton of them.
Let's give them, 45 more seconds. There's a lot. Holy man, you're the popular kid in school today. Look at all this love coming in.
I feel the love tonight.
Holy mackerel. That is
crazy. But some people are typing twice. Guys. That's maybe the longest comment stream in the history of comments.
Holy mackerel, man. You're going to blow up the YouTube algorithm with Prof Sales.
Someone put Proof Sales. I think that should get something.
All right, why don't you go through and choose a winner?
All right. I'm not even going to look. I'm just going to look over here so you guys can see. Some of these are pretty fun. I'll
be ready with my pen to write down whoever you choose. Holy mackerel. They're speeding up again. People are anticipating.
All right. All right. Should I show this as I do it or just do it?
No, we'll go with the honesty, Yeah,
I'm not. Yeah, I don't have any. All right, guys, I'm going to choose. So, all right, hold on. Let me get ready here. It was Rescued Threads.
Rescued Threads. Congratulations, yep. Rescued Threads. You are the winner of the contest. You're going to be receiving 102 Killer Clothing Brands. What I'm going to need you to do is send me a message through YouTube. So send me a message through YouTube or email me at stevera258@gmail.com. That's stevera258@gmail.com. I'll throw that in the description as well. If any of you guys have any questions for me, you can send me an email and I'll do my best to answer your question as well. But Rescued Threads, send me an email, stevera258@yahoo.com. Excuse me, I just screwed up my own video. stevera258@gmail.com. I'll put that in the description. And send me a screenshot of your YouTube channel. I need to see that it's you 100%, so someone else doesn't send it and take your prize. And I will hook you up. Thanks for all the likes, guys. Thanks for all the support
awesome.
for Prof Sales, man. How's your YouTube channel going? It's growing nicely over there?
It's going great, man. People coming in every day. We got a nice community, and it's
That's
just
cool.
really been a blessing. So really enjoying it.
That's awesome, man. I want to shout out New Frontier Business, who just hooked me up with a little
Thanks,
$2 what's it called, super chat. So
awesome.
big shout out to New Frontier Business. Mama Profits is calling like crazy. Let's get her live on YouTube right now. Hello. Okay. All right. Bye-bye. Okay. She calls me up to tell me that she can't hear me.
I'm calling you to tell you I got to call you later.
Well, she usually calls me. I'm going to tell you the relationship I have with my mother. She'll call me every day and she'll go, Steven, I just left Savers. I found 7 books. I paid this much and my profit is this much.
She's awesome.
She's so freaking adorable. But she's getting ready for retirement soon, and she's going to be supplementing her Social Security with selling books on Amazon. So I had a conversation with her about maybe trying to make a few extra $100 doing eBay as well. So I'm going to try to get her into the clothing, but she's very spoiled with the FBA program.
It's simple, no doubt about it, and plenty of inventory.
Mischievous Mal says, thanks, gents. Thank you, Mischievous Mal. Make sure to give Mischievous Mal a subscribe. She's really an awesome player in the community, and appreciate you being here. Isaac, man, thanks for stopping by. We got to definitely get up and do a Connecticut meetup. Yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Subscribe to Prof Sales, guys. Instagram and YouTube links in the description. Anything else you want to say, Jason, to the people who are watching?
Go out there, guys, and have an awesome day. Hope you have a great day sourcing and selling, and let's just try to make it better than yesterday.
Hey, that's some good advice. Mama Profits is calling again. Should I pick it up?
Sure.
You're live on YouTube right now.
I am.
Did you go? Because you're calling in the middle of the show, so I'm picking it up while everyone's listening.
All right, I'll talk to you soon.
Did you go to Savers?
I'm going now.
How many books are you going to get?
6 or 7.
All right. Update me soon.
All right.
Bye-bye. And that's the show, guys. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys.